If you've spent any time in natural health communities, you've probably seen it. Drink a mixture of olive oil and lemon juice, and you'll pass strange green pebbles the next morning that people claim are gallstones, flushed straight out of your liver. Millions of people have tried this, but almost nobody is asking the one question that actually matters. What are those green pebbles actually made of? Because the answer to that question determines whether this entire practice does anything at all, or whether it's one of the most widespread health myths still circulating today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what a liver flush claims to do, what actually happens inside your body when you drink olive oil and lemon juice, what those mysterious green pebbles really are according to laboratory analysis, and what legitimate science says about supporting your liver and gallbladder. Let's start with the claim itself. The typical liver flush protocol involves several days of apple juice or apple cider vinegar, followed by a period of fasting, and then drinking a large quantity of olive oil mixed with fresh lemon juice before bed. Proponents claim this combination forces your liver to release stored toxins and your gallbladder to expel stones, which you then pass in your stool the following morning.
The visual evidence people point to is striking. Small, round, greenish objects that genuinely do appear in the toilet bowl afterward. Here's where we need to understand your actual anatomy. Your gallbladder is a small pear-shaped organ that stores and concentrates bile, a digestive fluid produced by your liver to help break down fats. Real gallstones form inside the gallbladder itself, typically from hardened cholesterol or bilirubin, and they range from the size of a grain of sand to the size of a golf ball. Critically, gallstones are usually yellow, brown, or black, not the bright green color people report passing. Real gallstones are also often quite hard and dense. Passing an actual gallstone through the bile duct is frequently so painful that it sends people to the emergency room, not something that happens painlessly overnight from drinking olive oil and lemon juice. So, what's actually happening biologically when you drink this mixture? When a large amount of olive oil enters your digestive system, it triggers a strong release of bile from our gallbladder, since bile is specifically needed to help emulsify and digest fat. The lemon juice's acidity adds an additional stimulus to this digestive process. This combination of intense fat and acid essentially forces a powerful bile release and a strong laxative-like reaction in your intestine. Now, here's the part that actually answers our question. Researchers and physicians who have analyzed these green stones in laboratory settings have repeatedly found the same result. Published in case reports within journals like the American Journal of Gastroenterology. The pebbles are not gallstones at all. They're a combination of solidified olive oil, saponified by the alkaline environment of your digestive tract, mixed with lemon juice and bile pigments, which is exactly why they're green, because bile itself is green before it's chemically altered in the gut. Essentially, when oil meets the strong acid and alkaline shifts in your stomach and intestines combined with bile, it can harden into small lumps through a chemical process similar to soap making. This is a well-documented chemical reaction, not evidence of toxins or stones leaving your body. To verify this, some researchers have actually recreated the liver flush mixture outside the body in laboratory conditions, mixing olive oil, lemon juice, and bile salts under conditions mimicking digestion. The result was the same greenish pebble-like clumps, formed entirely outside any human liver or gallbladder. If you can produce identical results in a test tube with no human body involved, the pebbles obviously aren't coming from your organs. This single piece of evidence is about as close to a definitive answer as you can get in nutrition science. So why do so many people swear by the results, often reporting improved energy or digestion in the days following a flush? Part of the answer likely comes down to the dramatic dietary changes surrounding the flush itself, not the olive oil and lemon mixture specifically. Most liver flush protocols involve days of fasting or juice-only diets beforehand, which naturally reduces bloating and can create a genuine, if temporary, feeling of lightness. Cutting out processed food, alcohol, and excess calories for several days will make almost anyone feel better temporarily, regardless of what happens on the final night.
There's also a well-documented psychological phenomenon at play here. When people expect to feel a result and physically witness something dramatic happening like passing visible stones, confirmation bias makes them strongly attribute any positive feelings afterward to the flush itself. Now, is this practice actually dangerous or just ineffective? For most healthy people, doing this occasionally probably won't cause serious harm beyond temporary stomach discomfort, nausea, or diarrhea from the large fat and acid load. However, there are real risks worth taking seriously. Case studies in clinical gastroenterology literature have documented instances where a real gallstone, dislodged by the strong gallbladder contraction triggered by the oil, became lodged in the bile duct, causing severe pain, infection, or jaundice requiring emergency treatment. This means the people most likely to experience genuine danger from a liver flush are precisely those who actually have existing gallstones, the population this practice is most often marketed toward. The strong fatty stimulus can trigger a real gallstone to move and become trapped, turning a silent, harmless stone into a medical emergency.
Before we continue, click the like button if this kind of evidence-based myth-busting is useful to you. There's a lot of health misinformation out there, and content like this helps more people find clarity instead of confusion. And subscribe if you want more honest breakdowns like this one. All right, let's continue. Let's also address the toxin release claim more directly, since that's the other major justification people give for this practice. Your liver doesn't store toxins waiting to be flushed out through a dramatic at-home ritual. Hepatology research consistently describes your liver as a continuously active filtering organ, processing and neutralizing toxins around the clock through complex enzymatic pathways, then sending the byproducts to your kidneys and intestines for elimination through completely normal, ongoing processes. There's no scientific mechanism by which olive oil and lemon juice would suddenly accelerate or unlock this process in a single evening. If your liver were genuinely unable to process toxins effectively due to disease or damage, drinking oil and lemon juice would do nothing to fix that underlying problem. In fact, it could place unnecessary additional strain on an already struggling organ. So, if the liver flush itself doesn't hold up, what does legitimate evidence actually say about supporting liver and gallbladder health? This is where we can pivot to genuinely useful information. Maintaining a healthy body weight matters significantly, since obesity is one of the strongest known risk factors for both fatty liver disease and gallstone formation. Interestingly, very rapid weight loss can also increase gallstone risk, so gradual, sustainable weight loss is the safer approach if that's a goal. Limiting alcohol consumption is one of the most well-established ways to protect liver function over time, since your liver bears the primary burden of metabolizing alcohol, and chronic excess intake is directly linked to fatty liver disease and cirrhosis. This doesn't necessarily mean complete elimination for everyone, but moderation has strong evidentiary support. Regular physical activity has been shown in metabolic research to reduce liver fat and improve insulin sensitivity, both of which directly support healthier liver function over time. Even moderate activity, like brisk walking most days, shows measurable benefits in liver fat reduction studies. Coffee consumption, somewhat surprisingly, has some of the more interesting research behind it for liver health specifically. Multiple studies have associated regular coffee drinking with lower rates of liver fibrosis and a reduced risk of certain liver diseases, likely related to compounds that reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in liver tissue.
A diet rich in fiber, vegetables, and healthy fats, similar to what's often called a Mediterranean-style eating pattern, has consistently shown benefits for liver health markers in clinical nutrition research. This isn't about one dramatic intervention, but a sustained pattern over months and years. Staying adequately hydrated supports overall bioflow and digestive function generally, though it won't dissolve or flush existing stones the way some claim. Adequate hydration is simply a baseline requirement for healthy digestion overall. If you have a family history of gallstones, or you're experiencing symptoms like pain in the upper right abdomen after eating fatty meals, that's a signal to see a doctor for proper imaging, not a signal to attempt a home liver flush. Ultrasound imaging can definitively identify actual gallstones in a way that no amount of guessing from toilet bowl contents ever could.
Now, let's talk about who should be most cautious about even trying a liver flush, beyond the gallstone risk we already covered. People with diabetes should be careful, since the fasting components of most protocols can cause dangerous blood sugar fluctuations. Anyone with a history of pancreatitis should avoid this practice entirely, since the strong fat load can trigger pancreatic inflammation in susceptible individuals. The pancreas and gallbladder share closely connected ducts, and digestive distress in one can easily affect the other. People taking blood-thinning medications should also exercise caution, since large amounts of certain citrus consumption can interact with how some medications are metabolized. This is worth a quick conversation with your pharmacist or doctor before attempting any extreme dietary protocol. If you're pregnant, this practice should be avoided altogether, since the intense digestive stimulation and potential for triggering gallbladder complications isn't worth the risk during pregnancy. There's simply no established safety data to justify the risk.
So here's the honest, balanced bottom line on this entire topic. The olive oil and lemon combination does not flush toxins from your liver, and it does not produce real gallstones in your toilet bowl. What it does produce is a chemical reaction between oil, acid, and bile that creates soap-like pellets, a finding confirmed repeatedly through laboratory analysis and even recreated entirely outside the human body. The temporary feeling of wellness many people report is far more likely connected to the fasting and dietary cleanup surrounding the flush than the flush itself. This doesn't mean olive oil and lemon are without any value at all in your diet generally. Extra virgin olive oil has well-documented anti-inflammatory and cardiovascular benefits when used as a regular part of a balanced diet, and lemon juice provides vitamin C and can support hydration habits. The issue isn't the ingredients themselves. It's the specific claim that this ritual flushes your liver or removes gallstones, which the evidence simply does not support. If you genuinely want to support your liver and gallbladder, the research points toward gradual weight management, limited alcohol, regular movement, and a consistently balanced diet, not a single dramatic at-home procedure. If you do have real concerns about your gallbladder or liver health, particularly any pain after eating fatty foods, please see a doctor for proper testing rather than attempting a home remedy that could mask a more serious underlying issue or, in the case of existing gallstones, actually create a medical emergency. So here's my question for you. Had you heard of the liver flush before this video? And did you know what those green pebbles actually were? Let me know in the comments, because I think a lot of people are going to be genuinely surprised by this. Click the like button if this gave you a clearer, more honest picture of what's really happening with this trend. And subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns of popular health claims that deserve a closer look. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.